Hi, I'm Shao. I have a question to ask you. Do I look like an AI bot? Because honestly, some of the questions I get on the comment section are pissing me off a bit. Take this question, for example. I'm not going to name the commenter, but you know who you are. What do you think of the 2035 f2.8, the 1735 f2.8, and the 1635 f2.8 1, 2, and 3 from Canon? Right, you are asking me to compare 5 different lenses I have no experience with. Do you have any idea of how much research I have to do to compare those lenses, to characterize each one of them? I'm not a Canon shooter, never been. My only experience with Canon is from about 10 years ago when I swapped cameras with a friend on one of the forums for a couple of weeks. And he gave me the Canon 60D with a 15 to 85 millimeter zoom, I think. And I used that lens for exactly 20 minutes. I really don't have a clue. So I need to put all this time to do the research. Now, it's true, I'm here to help. I have an agenda, which is people should choose lenses according to their rendering, not just according to the specification and technical image quality, because they are made for producing images for the enjoyments of humans, not for the enjoyments of computers. So I will help you if I can, if it's not too much hassle, too much work. But there is some limit to what I'm willing to do. Just to explain the process of researching a lens I have no experience with and I have no knowledge about. First of all, I look at the design of that lens. I have to search it online, looking for the diagram that shows the types of elements and the placements in the lens barrel. Sometimes that searching takes some time, especially with older lenses like the Canon 20 to 35 f2.8 or the 17 to 35. Those are 30-year-old lenses or more. So the information about them is quite limited. You do not simply put a prompt on Google and have it. You have to find it on specific sites. Then I do the math. To make it simple, I compute the dispersion score of the lens. Sometimes you can't see exactly the type of groups. So you have to simplify the calculations. In the case of the 17 to 35 and the 20 to 35 Canons, I could not see exactly which group is a doublet and which group is a triplet. So I had to simplify the calculation. I simply put in the formula the total number of elements minus the number of groups minus the number of ED or LD elements in Canon's jargon, and divided the result by the total number of elements again. And only then I can predict what the rendering of each lens would look like. That process takes time. After comparing the dispersion scores for each of those lenses, I need to verify my evaluations or suspicions. So I go on lens reviews for each one of those lenses and look specifically at the sections that talk about chromatic aberration, because nice, more poppy lenses always show some color fringing. And that takes time too. You don't find a comparison of all 5 lenses online in a technical review. So you have to compare different reviews, different opinions, and it is quite a problem, especially with older lenses. So that takes even more time. It actually took me about an hour and a half to find what I was looking for in those reviews for all the 5 lenses. Only then I can look for the final verification, which is actual images taken with each of those lenses. So I go on Flickr and in the search box I type the name of the lens and start looking at images. Now, many of those images are heavily processed, so I look for images that might show the characteristics of the rendering that are not very processed, that look like they are JPEGs taken straight out of camera or raw files with minimal processing. So I can really get the feeling of what that lens I'm researching can do. And that takes even more time. I spent about 3 hours or even more to come to a conclusion. I eventually did it because my job here is to help you if I can. And not knowing anything about those Canon wide zooms, it got me a bit curious, because I really wanted to see whether all the lenses indeed had a nicer rendering compared to the newest ones. So I put in the time and the effort, and I came to a conclusion eventually, which vindicated what I thought. The older lenses are indeed nicer to my eyes than the new ones. Out of those lenses, I was especially impressed with the 17 to 35, which was introduced in 1995 at the peak of the golden age of lens design. And I was especially disappointed with the newest lens, the 16 to 35 version 3. According to its dispersion score should be reasonable, but then it had the rearmost element in the lens removed, so there is nothing between the last low dispersion element and the sensor, and that removes any dispersion from that lens and makes the images extremely flat and clinical. The rest of the lenses are somewhere in the middle, with the oldest one, the 20 to 35, showing a better rendering than the first two 16 to 35 versions. But if I had to choose one lens among those 5 zooms, it would definitely be the 17 to 35. You can clearly see on the first page of samples on the Flickr site. After I do this work for you, the least you can do is say thank you or show your appreciation. You know, there's a link at the bottom of the description box, wink wink. I am giving you all the tools I have to help you evaluate what a lens would draw like. I'm not hiding anything. So please use those tools. In 90% of the instances, those methods do work. I'm convinced of that. I have already many indications that those shortcuts do work, including comments I get on the channel from viewers who repeatedly confirm that they did the math and looked at sample images, and they agree with me. The construction of the lens can predict its rendition. So I implore you, please use those tools. Please do your own research, your own due diligence. The simplest way to evaluate a lens is actually to look at images that were made with it. Lots and lots of images until you get the feel for that rendering, for the character of the images made with that specific lens. It takes some time, yes, but that scrutinizing is revealing. Just trust your eyes. What you see is what you get with those things. You don't need to do all this math. All you have to do is use your eyes. This is why we have them. Now, something for the Sony users among the viewers of my channel. It is a little bit difficult to find nice rendering prime lenses for the E-mount. I mean native lenses, not adapted ones that work seamlessly with the Sony cameras and support autofocus and aperture control without any additional adapters. Until now, there was only one lens I knew of that I was really impressed with. It's the Sony size 55mm f1.8 Sonar. Anyway, another telephoto lens I knew of that renders quite nicely, though perhaps not as well as that Sony size 55, is the newly announced Zero 85mm f1.4 Aurora, which is an interesting lens. It contains some ED elements that are positioned at the front of the lens, but it has a bulk of high refractive index elements towards the rear of the lens. That makes the rendering quite poppy. Definitely nicer than other short telephoto lenses for that mount. Now, this week I have discovered two lenses that produce really nice dimensional true-to-life results on the wide end too. Those are the Samyang 35mm f1.8 and the Samyang 35mm f1.4. Not the last version of the f1.4, not the Prima one, but the two versions that preceded it, versions 1 and 2. Those lenses do not contain any ED elements, and looking at image samples, they make fantastic results. I was truly impressed with what I saw. The f1.8 is a smallish lens that can be easily used for everything except low light. The f1.4 lenses, both versions are quite large ones. They weigh about 600 to 700 grams, but I think their rendering justifies that size. Those f1.4 lenses got a lot of flack for having quite a bit of chromatic aberration, slightly soft appearance of the images, etc. But they render in a wonderful way. I really liked what I saw. The new Prima lens does contain an ED element towards the rear of the lens, and its results are much less impressive, to me anyway. So that completes a prime trinity for the Sony E mount. It's still missing a nice poppy lens on the very wide end of the scale, like a 24 or 28 millimeter. The Zeiss Batis 25mm f2 is okay. It renders better than other lenses in that group that are quite flat and clinical, but it's not as nice as that. Both Samyang lenses. Talking about Samyang, it used to make some very nice autofocusing lenses, but in the past year or so, it joined all other manufacturers in prioritizing sharpness and detail and all the rest. and that really spoils the nice rendering. I had high hopes of the new collaboration between Samyang and Schneider Kreuznach. That collaboration produced so far only one lens, the new 14 to 24 millimeter f2.8. But from initial samples, I can see it's a very flat lens, not impressive at all to my eyes. But some of those Samyang primes, especially the first ones it produced for the Sony E mount, are excellent lenses. You can also look for the 85mm f1.2. Despite being a huge lens, its rendering is okay. It's quite pleasing to my eye. Almost as nice as the Zero E 85 f1.4. Right, enough ranting. Thank you for watching, and see you again soon.